What you're looking at right now is the payment dashboard of one of my clients. His name is Matthew Silva, and it is $250,000 that he has collected in cash over the last 12 months. And the craziest part is about 18 months ago, he was actually working as a pool cleaner making $14 an hour. So his name is Matt Silva. I'm going to show you exactly how he built this fitness business from scratch, exactly how we helped him with zero prior experience, not working in a gym, and not really having any sales or marketing experience. We're going to break down this entire system for you, and we're going to run it step by step. And by the end of this breakdown, you are going to have an absolute blueprint of what you need to do as well, or maybe what we can help you with on how to build and scale your own online fitness business, even if you don't have any experience. Certifications, which you don't need to if you're doing online training, which is the crazier part. Some people think they need to, but you don't. All right. So by the end of this training, you're going to know exactly what to do. So let's dive in. So first things first, when you are starting a fitness business, and this is where Matt came from. Before we go into it, Matt was actually struggling a lot with his offer. So his offer was to help people lose 15 to 20 pounds, right? And that was of body fat. The problem with this was that everyone else was also saying the same exact thing. So unlike everyone else, he was saying, I want to help you guys lose weight. But unlike everyone else, Matt was a former Marine, right? So he had that experience on his tool belt. But the problem with that was now he's competing with all the other people in the military and all the other Marines saying the exact same thing. He was posting at least 2 to 3 times per day on social media, and he wasn't getting any traction. He wasn't getting anybody going and DMing him. He was getting a lot of likes. He was getting a lot of comments, but he wasn't getting any sales, right? And what's the point of posting content if you're not getting sales? So he was posting 2 to 3 times a day, and he wasn't getting any traction at all. Maybe that's some of you watching this video. Maybe you haven't even started posting yet, and you're afraid of doing all that work and not having anything come back to you. Totally get that, right? But it was generic fitness content and it was workout videos that wasn't typically working for everybody, right? So he was posting workout videos, he was posting tips, he was even posting free plans. So he figured, let me post a ton of value. Let me go ahead and just let people know I know what I'm talking about. But the problem is, all of these things you can get online for free. And that's the whole issue with the online fitness space, is that when you're talking about generic fitness advice, everyone's already heard it a million times. And it's not going to make sense for the next person who hears it from you because it's watered down advice that they've already heard. Chances are you're not the most shredded person on Instagram, and they're already giving that advice. So it's not going to make any more difference. Now, the problem Matt had, and this was very big, we had to fix this problem as soon as possible. Problem number 1 is we have to go ahead and figure out the avatar. He had no clear avatar. Now, you've probably heard of this word before. Avatar. What does that mean? Basically means somebody who needs help to solve a specific problem. Who is that person that you help, and what specific problem that you help them solve? All right. How does that problem affect the person that you're talking about? Is it they lost weight and they gained it all back? Or is it they have binge eating, they have late night cravings, they have a sweet tooth? What is the actual problem? It could be time. They don't have enough time in the day to go work out. Whatever it is, motivation. He didn't understand the main core problem of this person, and that is exactly what stopped him from seeing any kind of results or even getting people into his DMs. So the first thing we had to do was sit down and come up with a custom avatar solution. So with Matt, we used his military experience. We said, Matt, you're already a former Marine. You have a ton of experience and you have a ton of authority in the military LEO space. Why don't we just look at what you've already done and what you've accomplished yourself? So the first thing that we did with Matt was look at the pain points of people in the military. What are they going through that he has gone through or that he can help people go through? So we ended up figuring out that a lot of people in the military, they can't pass their PT tests, which sounds insane. But it's actually very true. I'm actually in the Air Force, so I know this firsthand. I take one every 6 months. But in the Marines, Army, Air Force, a PT test, if you don't do that, you actually get kicked out of the military if you don't do it enough. So it was a huge pain point that we had to really think about, and it was right there in front of them. But we had to just access that and just think about it. So we pretty much took people who failed at their PT tests or people who failed at height and weight measurements, and they were unable to promote in the military. So we got very, very specific. so specific? Because the thing is, if you're giving broad, general, bland fitness advice, no one's going to really have the power. No one's going to really want to work with you because someone else is giving that same advice elsewhere. So we went very specific. We targeted people in the military failing their PT test. That was problem number one that we had to solve. The second thing that we had to solve, number two, this was the offer. What about what you do is different? What are you going to give the client? What are they going to get? And based on what they get, how are they going to feel? What's the offer? What's the end desired result? And what problem are we solving? So the first thing we got to do is figure out the avatar. What problem are we solving? The offer is how we solve that problem. Each one of these points, you have to be extremely specific in everything you do. Okay? There was no lead generation in his business because he wasn't speaking to the right person and he didn't have an offer that was attractive. So we looked at the ideal client for him, right? It was the military members who failed PT. That was the ideal client. Now we got to come up with an offer. So what we did with Matt and what we do with all of our clients is we actually build out what's called our program pillars. Now, you've probably heard of this before. If you haven't, this is what I did in order to sell 2,000 to 3,000 fitness packages on repeat, getting paid in full, is I pitch my program pillars. If you don't have program pillars, you are missing out completely. This is what separates you from everyone else in the fitness space. We designate our program pillars to solve 2 to 3 problems that your ideal client is going to have. Now, in this case, for military members failing their PT test, we had 3 problems we had to solve. The first problem was going to be nutrition, right? You got to eat the food in order to fuel your body. If you eat the wrong food, you're going to be overweight. You're not going to lose weight. You're going to be overweight, fat, and you're not going to be able to perform better in your PT test, which is ultimately going to have you fail and potentially get kicked out of the military, right? So we had to solve a nutritional component of his program. The second thing we had to do was obviously going to be the fitness aspect, right? The movement. What do we need to do to train you up to be ready for your PT test? We had to solve that problem. The third thing we had to do was a lifestyle recalibration. This was the most important pillar that we had to implement in his business because it doesn't matter how good the fitness or nutrition portion of his program is. So as long as they don't have the last puzzle piece, right? Pillar number 3, the lifestyle recalibration. So for Matt, what we did is we took these 3 pillars, and we formulated it into a killer sales pitch. So when he was pitching his program, whenever he talked to somebody, on average, maybe one person a week that he talked to on the phone, he was pitching the same old thing: custom workouts, custom nutrition, accountability app. It does not work. Nobody who's paying you top dollar is actually going to go ahead and pay you for that. With his offer, we actually increased his prices because these 3 pillars allow us to create separation from everyone else. So that's exactly what we did. In order to create separation and to stand out in the fitness industry, we had to do a few things. First thing, we had to increase prices. Matt was normally charging about $500 for a 3-month program. Now, depending on who you are, that might be a lot, that might be a little. What I told him to do was, instead of $500 for 3 months, which people aren't going to be held accountable for, that's not a lot of money for 3 months. It just isn't. What's going to make people show up and also going to make you stand out from everyone else is increasing your prices. So we charged $1,500 starting out for 3 months. All right, $500 a month instead of 3. This does a few things. It filters out people who are not serious and do not want any type of help, and they just want cheap things, and they're always going to fail, and they're always going to get the same result. The second thing it does, we have to sell less. So in order to make $1,500, instead of selling 3 people at $500, now we just got to sell 1 person, which makes it a lot easier for you to do. So with that, introducing our pillars, and the way that we structure these pillars, that goes in our killer sales pitch. We have a whole training talking about that. It's another whole video if you guys want that, but this is what's going to separate us from everyone else. And then our prices are what's going to also increase the perceived value of what we have. Because the thing is, you can give somebody the same workout, nutrition, accountability program as somebody else. It can be the exact same thing. Charge them both differently, a cheap program and a more expensive program. 9 times out of 10, because the university did the study, I forgot which one, but it was a couple years ago, the ones that are more expensive, those programs, the people got better results. It was a double-blind study. Same program in each price point. This program, these people got better results because they were more financially committed to the outcome. So that's what we did. We increased his prices and increased or implemented our program pillars that walk people through the process. Now, that's all great. We got him the avatar. We figured out the offer. The last thing we needed to do was start generating leads. So number three, the third problem he had, and arguably this is the most important problem everyone has, leads. He's posting content 2 to 3 times a day. You would think you would get at least, I don't know, 5 to 10 leads per day with posting content. He wasn't getting anybody. And that was the real problem. And he came to me and he was super frustrated, as anyone would be if that were to happen. And we said, look, you're posting content and content works if you do it right. The problem is most people don't know how to do it. You can post content and do all these different things you think you need to do, but end up doing a ton of work and going nowhere, right? It's kind of like the content hamster wheel. So what we did is we gave Matt our Instagram ads funnel. It's the same thing that we used, myself included, that did 30 grand per month in my fitness business. Same one that we use right now. It's worked time and time again, and it'll continue to work so as long as people can talk to each other on social media. So I'm going to go draw a diagram real quick, show you exactly how this works. It's real simple, and it's not that complicated. So our main goal with Matt was to generate 5 to 20 leads per day. Now, the difference between generating leads with cold traffic or doing cold outbound, like DMing, making content, commenting on other people's posts, and warm traffic, people raising their hands and wanting to work with you, is that the conversations are completely different. The people who want to work with you after seeing an ad, they're ready to have the conversation. They want to learn more about what you do. And it's not like pulling teeth when you're reaching out to somebody and trying to get them to work with you. So with Matt, what we did is we set up 3 ads. Each one at the time, we're spending anywhere between $5 to $10 per day. So not that expensive. So we're spending about $30 a day tops on ads. You're probably spending $30 a day on food, and that's not making you any more money. So it's really not that much money. So at the end of the day, what we were doing, right at the end of the month, we were spending around, let's say, $450 per month on ads. So how this worked, one ad and another ad. We have 3 ads running. We are going to funnel people into our Instagram system. So this whole funnel is our Instagram system. How this works is we're going to have very clear cut ads telling people what we do, what problem we help with, and how we help them solve it. We're not going to give away everything right in the ad because no one's going to listen. What we are going to do is create curiosity with our proven ad scripts. So with Matt, again, focusing on military members who failed their PT test and also focusing on the main problems they have, such as time, commitment, motivation, lack of discipline, right? All these things, put them in the ads, tested pictures and videos, and then we had people coming in into our Instagram DMs. So Instagram DMs. Once they are in the DMs, this is where the magic happens. We actually start conversations. We talk to them. Hey, glad to see you here. What's the main problem you're having right now in fitness? What have you tried so far that hasn't worked? What's not working well right now? What's your fitness goal right now? How long have you been in the military for, right? Very targeted conversations from people who've already raised their hands wanting to work with you. The reason why this works better than any type of funnel is because other funnels such as VSLs, such as follower ads, right? Such as low ticket, which again, all these work. But the problem is if you're brand new and you don't have any tech experience, if you don't have any teammates to help you out, it's just you and you have no help at all, and you're working a full-time job, all of these other ads aren't going to work as well. The reason why you send people into the DMs is because you're already on Instagram. You're already on social media. Talk to them. You're already chatting with people. Go and have a conversation with them. And from there, let's say you get 10 leads that day. 10 people raised their hand, wanted to chat with you. On average, if you're good, you're going to book at least 3 to 4 calls off of those leads that have already raised your hand. Because remember, these people coming to you, they're warm. They want your help. Now, if you're good in the DMs, you can book 3 to 4. If you're really good and you follow our process, we actually see people booking at least 5 to 6 calls per day off of these leads. So it's really good. Now, you get them to a call. This is a low pressure call. You're not pitching them unless you can help them. And the real strategy behind the DMs is, look, this is a roadmap call. I don't even know if I can help you yet, but if we chat a little bit more about this, if you're serious on getting help, worst case, I can show you kind of our blueprint game plan, see if you like it. If you hate it, no worries. We can go ahead and part ways. If you do like it, we can work together and I'll show you what that looks like and you tell me if you hate it or not. Very, very low pressure. It's not a high pressure sales pitch. It's literally just, this is what I help people do. Are you interested? And then on that call, this is where, again, the other money-making activities happen. On that call, you pitch people if they are ready to get pitched. Again, same system that we followed to build up our business right now to over 700 grand cash collected in the last 12 months. So it's working. And it's only just me and 2 other teammates. So it works without a huge team. What we do is pitch out of those 5 or 6 people, let's say 3 or 4. Let's say you talk to 4 people, 4 calls. Out of those 4, if you have a 30% close rate, which is industry standard, and that's if you're not that great, 30% of 4, what is that? That's about 1.3 people, right? You close 1 deal. That's $1,500. If you're charging high ticket, which you should, it's $1,500 off of $450 that you spent that entire month in ads. Now, we've seen people, and this is where Matt's at right now, he's spending $10,000 a month on ads, and he's making 50 grand a month. The only difference between spending $450 and making $1,500 is just increasing the ad spend. So this system works. If you want more leads, all you have to do is increase your ad spend. If you want more money, you want to increase your ad spend. And it works every single time. Now, if you only just want an extra, let's say 2 to 3 clients a month, here's exactly how the numbers break down. This is my business. This is 2022. Right now in Matt's business, I believe he sent me a screenshot of his tracker. It takes him an average of $230 in ad spend in order to close 1 client. So every time he spends $230, he's closing a deal. The kicker is each client is worth, for him right now, $2,500 is how much he's charging, and he's getting paid in full. So paid in full. We call those PIFs. We actually got this screenshot. He sent it to me last month in July. He closed $45,000 in July. Actually, this ended up being a $66,000 month for him. So he actually ended up making 66 grand in July, and he even had $10,000 days. Cash collected. He would dream of $10,000 per month. He used this exact same system to make 10K in 1 single day in sales as a fitness coach with no certifications and no in-person experience. So again, this was Matt's entire plan. We give this to every one of our coaches who comes and works with us. We use it ourselves. It is an absolute monster of a strategy, and it's working tremendously well for people who know they can help other people lose weight, gain muscle, change their lives, transform everything. And we're actually giving this away for people. And we're doing this on strategy calls. So it's not a high pitch or high pressure sales call. This is literally just a walkthrough of how our system works, kind of like this, but more specifically to you and your goals and kind of what your goals are with your fitness business. So if you're somebody who wants to grow a fitness business and you're wanting to go ahead and do this in the shortest possible way, you want to shortcut all the problems, all the tech headaches, and you just want to follow a system that works, then we actually have something that does work for you. And if you want to learn more about how this works for you specifically, we're always open to talking with people who want to know more. Scroll down below this video or somewhere on this video, it might be underneath. There's a link to book a call with my team. It's not a high pressure sales call. It's literally just to see if we can help you and if we can actually show you how to do our system. Not everyone's a good fit, and that's okay. About 82% of you watching right now are not a good fit, and I'm okay with that. After 4 years of data and figuring out most people we talk to that aren't ready yet, and that's totally fine. But if you are ready and you want to move quickly and you want to start building a business that does minimum 10K to 50K per month, what I would do and urge you is to scroll underneath this video, book a call with my team. Spots are extremely limited, but they are there, and we can talk to you. And again, no high pressure sales pitch. It's literally just a roadmap call showing you how the system works, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. And if we are, best case, we show you how this works and show you how to use this in the next 7 days, start getting clients. Worst case, we're not a good fit. You steal our entire strategy and we part ways, and you have a complete game plan of what you need to do. So that's it for this video. Again, my name is Connor Jarvie. I am the CEO of Elite Health Trainer University. This is not a hyper edited video. As you can tell, this is very strict to the point, and I want to help people who are looking to build fitness businesses. So if that's you, book a call below, we'll chat with my team, and we'll see if we can help. All right. See you on the other side.